Hello, everybody. This is the technically third episode of the podcast, but the I'd say the second session, because the first was technically the prologue, kind of short and sweet, only two people at the time. For a brief recap, the prologue, we were essentially on a ship heading towards the island. Some mishaps happened. And then the second episode, we were sailing off to the island, and our three beautiful adventurers ran into a secluded Cyclops in a cave, and essentially locked the Cyclops in the cave by rubble fall. But unfortunately, also, they locked their supplies behind the rubble fall as well. So they are currently trying to make a campsite. As they told us at the end of the episode, they were gathering supplies. They got the supplies ready. They're making the campfire. And I'm guessing you guys were about ready to sleep, right? That being said, before we really get into this, I'd say introductions are ready. So, hello, my name is Mace. I am the game master. I make sure that the game runs smoothly, and I also am the storyteller and helper with the understanding of the world around that these guys are playing. To my left is Jared. Please introduce yourself.
Yellow, I'm Jared. I am playing Lance Voorhees. He is a warrior. He is an Ilian. And fun fact about Lance, he's not a huge fan of pickles.
Interesting. All right, to my right here is Mason. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Mason. I play Cerberus, who's also a Ilian. And he's a more dark elf.
He is a rogue.
Yeah.
And fun fact about him. Think of anything off the spot.
If you say anything other than him liking pickles, I will quit the show if he does that.
He's suspicious of new people.
All right, that's solid. That's solid. Okay, and then to my middle here is Donovan. Please introduce.
Hello, I'm Donovan. I play Cedar Willow. He's an elf conjurer. And fun fact about Cedar, he loves to pet bears in the forest.
I love it. I like it. That's great. Okay. So, now, before we run into our heroes, every session or so, I kind of give like little fun tidbits of lore. Something that a general knowledge and also a secluded knowledge. One of the secluded knowledges is something that only conjurers would know. Because Lance specifically worked with a conjurer, he does have some small knowledge on this. So, interesting factor about conjurers is when they cast their magic, their color kind of dictates kind of like their personality or soul. And interestingly, any of the essentially the reservant religion people, like specifically crusaders of the religion as well as clerics of that religion, they don't normally, obviously they don't normally cast magic because magic is usually banned. That being said, they do have some interesting divinal magical abilities, and because of that, they're usually like seen as divine, or I guess you could say like angelically inspired. So because of this, it gives a bigger reason as to why most people would see magic as a taboo, because these divine people essentially are the ones who hunt down the other magic people in the sense of like heretical work. However, here's what most conjurers would know. Because the magic normally correlates with the color, interesting fact about people who call themselves divine or the reservant crusaders all have the same exact color. And conjurers usually know that there isn't actually any depictable gods and that there's not actually a way for everybody's color to be the exact same. So it's kind of something that's up in the air for most everyday conjurers that are either rogues on their own or, officialized with whatever king they are of whatever kingdom they're with. With that being said, we are going to start. So where we left off was that our beautiful players were setting up.
We're so beautiful.
We're setting up their camp. Did you guys want to say or do anything before you head to sleep?
I'm sleep deprived as it is. I kind of just want to call it a night. Pick it up in the morning, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll for one last perception check for the surrounding area.
Okay. I'm going to say because it's getting dark out that the DC is going to be a bit higher. So you're going to need a 4 higher. Okay, 5. So what you would notice is, for one, the Cyclops, you guys have no idea what's going on in that cave. Ever since the rubble, cleared his entrance, and ever since he stopped talking after someone might have convinced him that his life wasn't worth it, the cave has just been completely silent. However, you're also just kind of looking around, and you're just kind of curious. Is this the right spot to just kind of set up camp? But you think about it, you're like, but there's no other spots. You kind of have to at this point. You guys are tired. You just dealt with a shipwreck, and everything's been really rough. However, you can't stop this sneaking suspicion that there's something weird about that forest. There's a large forest kind of wrapping around your guys' area, going on for a fair amount of miles. And there's just something so eerie about it. You figure that maybe if you keep your distance while you guys are sleeping, it would be okay, but maybe it'd be better if someone kept watch.
Well, it can't be me. I need my beauty sleep.
I volunteer myself because that one is already showing signs of fatigue.
So did you guys want to just keep one person on watch all night, or did you want to do shifts? Because that's what I was thinking.
I'll take a shift.
More likely shifts, and then I will take the first watch.
Okay.
I suppose I can swing the second shift, since I'm such a generous individual.
So, here's how this is going to work, guys. I'm going to need everyone to get a 1d6 ready. Okay. And then I'll need everyone to then roll it. We got a 2, a 6.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. 2 and a 6 and a 2. Okay. So here's what I'm going to roll. Basically, if I roll any of your guys' numbers, something will happen. If I don't, then you guys are fine. All right, you guys are fine. So, you guys... Oh, who's the first to wake up?
I mean, I'm still awake.
So were you the last on the shift? Is that what you're
You
saying?
were taking the first shift, weren't
Yeah,
you?
never mind.
Okay.
That was the first time.
Who's the last on the shift?
Me.
You? Okay. All right. So who's going to be the first to wake up?
You know what? I can't sleep properly. I'll wake up first,
Okay.
and we'll fail to get my beauty sleep.
So you're waking up. Donovan is, Cedar Willow is looking out. He's just trying to, be careful about what's going on. Kind of probably eyeing up the woods more likely than anybody else due to his connection with the woods. Being more of a wood elf adjacent, essentially. And you see him eye up the woods a lot. Did you want to make any sort of perceptions? Did you want to talk at all?
Hey, Cedar, is everything all right? I couldn't help but notice you staring off there for a minute.
I don't know, those trees over there. Something doesn't seem right.
I was gonna say something smells funny, but that's just you.
I'll choose to let that slide. I do have proper BO in the mornings.
What do you mean the mornings? I wasn't going to say anything last night, but... It's fine. It's fine.
When you're trying to sit there or rub your hands together to make a fire, you work up quite the sweat in the pits.
Yeah, hasn't been a prevailing issue for me. But, hey, we all have our weaknesses.
Ken, let it slide.
You're darn tootin' you will.
What's up?
Can I roll to get a perception check on the forest?
Sure, yeah. And just remember, you 1d6, and you need, I'll say it's still kind of like lightening up, so the same as Mason, a 4 or higher. Okay.
4.
Something's definitely eerie about this forest. And not just eerie as, like, you would know. You, of all people, would be the best one to understand forests. And you would understand that it's quiet. Normally forests, like, have, like, plenty of animals, like, lurking about and you're making noises. But it's really, like, not just quiet, but also, like, there's not really many birds. And wherever there are birds, it almost seems like they're avoiding the forest. But that's all you pick up. With all that being said, with the tensions with our 2 fun adventurers always intact, we now have the last of our party members waking up. Is there anything you do or say?
Good morning, Sleepy.
You sleep well, sunshine?
Not a morning person, I see.
I roll a perception check in the morning as I wake up once more.
You want to do another one?
Yep, because I don't trust them.
Okay.
6.
So, you critted on the skill. So here's what I'll say. Not only do you also notice that some of the birds kind of avoid the forest, but interestingly enough, you could have swore you might have saw a shadow in there. Like, maybe something move? You're definitely being watched. You definitely get that feeling. But at the same time, someone else wakes up. And that would be the diplomat.
I forgot about him.
He wakes up, it's like, oh man, sleeping on the ground is definitely not my forte.
You know what? At least you got a good night's rest.
I have an extra hammock in my pack.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I don't think we should be sleeping anymore. I think we should definitely Cedar, right?
Correct.
Okay. The plan is to go to the shipyard city of Aliqua. In Aliqua, we need to speak to the mayor, and we need to gain entrance into the castle of Leonis. That is our goal, and we need to figure out, essentially, and gather all the information we can about what's going on with this island and why it was cut off. If you still want to join us, that would be great. Just remember that once we reach into town in the city, you might get some looks, especially since you are
Go on.
pointy ears.
I think what he's trying to say so politely is that you are one funny-looking man.
I'm so sorry. My bodyguards,
Kind of
they're
a little spicy.
They give honest feedback.
yes, the king paid good money for these bodyguards.
For a reason.
I understand that there's tensions between you two. Please don't let that become a thing. I need these two, as goofy as one of them is specifically. He points over to Lance.
I am not goofy.
He does. He's very strong, and he helps immensely. And I swear to God, I wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for
Yeah,
these two.
I get that a lot.
While this conversation is going on, do you have to go to the bathroom at all? Like your character, is he relieving himself in the morning?
No, I urinate quite infrequently.
What did you want to know the urinating practices
Were you
of the
going
characters
somewhere
for?
with this?
Yeah, no, I was, because you were going to say keep going with the tensions, and I was going to use like a vine or something to give his balls a tug while he was peeing.
Ugh.
To fuck with him.
Thought perhaps you were going to say something about taking a leak, given your interest in horticulture.
Where in the hell is this leading? I am so confused.
Well, he said leak, like the plant.
Get it? Leaf plants.
Okay.
Cut that out.
With the 6 on your perception, not only obviously do you notice that you think you're being watched in the forest, however, you also hear something. You hear something that no one else in the camp hears. You could have swore, not only did you think you hear, like, walking, armor, like, there's definitely, like, other people, but it feels like it's coming closer. And you could have swore, almost sounds like there's, like, a wagon. Maybe not a wagon, maybe a carriage. There's something coming closer. What do you do?
I take out my short bow and have it ready while staring towards the direction of the forest as my party group have started to wake up and enjoy each other's interactions.
Okay.
Enjoy.
I'm going to say you guys are, like, around this area or so. So, Mason, you are... Cerberus, you like, kind of hear the sound coming off from, like, this distance. So, essentially, viewers, he's, like, the forest is right in front of them, and he's kind of hearing it from his, like, I'd say south, east. No. Right? East is right? Yeah, southeast. Yeah. So, what do? You have the bow ready, right? Mm-hmm. The bow ready, and you're, like, almost, like, ready to attack, right? Is that what you're going in for?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys see him ready to attack. The diplomat sees this and kind of hunkers down a little bit. What do you guys do?
Cerberus, I'm all for staying vigilant. Did you see something? Hear something? Why so hostile?
Some off in the distance, but I can't quite put it. And we're on an island, so I have to be cautious.
Did you hear or see a figure? I can't quite make it out.
Sounds like something coming, or...
It sounds like something coming closer.
Okay. Something's heading towards our direction as we speak.
Are there any, like, taller trees around that I could climb to get a better vantage point?
So here's what I'll tell you about this area. This is you guys would know from the map that the diplomat has that this would be considered the hilly range. Essentially, there's a lot of just kind of green hills. It's a very grassy hills, and very, like, some are large, some are smaller. It's kind of like a rocky area, and just you realize there's kind of a big reason why there's not really any civilizations kind of hunkered in that area, because it would be really hard to set some housing units there. They're not just hills, but they're, like, foundationally rocky hills.
Just curious, how far from where we're standing would you say is the nearest vantage point?
I would say that, I don't know. I'll like, you can pick whatever, like, hill or tree you want, and then we can just kind of go from there.
Okay, because what I was gonna say is I could port up to the nearest tall tree, rock, what have you, and take a look from there.
That being said, before we do anything with that, Cedar, Donovan, because you got the second highest for the perception roll, you also now start to hear something. Not as well as Cerberus does, but you do notice, like, maybe some clanking of armor, but that's all you can gather.
Well, I appreciate Cerberus' caution. I think maybe we should hide and see what happens.
Perhaps you two hide. I can, stealthily as I can, maybe try to take a peek from up top.
So did you want to stealth your way up on one of the hills or a tree or something?
Yeah, like the nearest tall tree.
You specifically want to do a tree or a hill?
Which would be taller in this context?
Probably a tree.
We'll go with the tree.
Okay.
I would also like to cast, like, an illusion of a rock or something. Like a big pile of grass for Cerberus and me and the diplomat to hide behind.
So, let me get this right. So are you guys, like, laying down, sitting,
I'd say
standing?
more crouched.
Crouched? What do you...
I would probably say standing because the sound is still off in the distance. So if I'm crouching, especially looking towards the hilly regions, it will put us more at a disadvantage.
So you aren't looking to be stealthy, or are you?
Not at the
Moment?
Not at the moment because none of my party members have decided to guard the diplomat, which is the main.
Well, so here's what I'm gathering. So specifically, Cedar is trying to cast magic to cover both him and the diplomat. He did specifically say that.
Okay. So then if I'm going to leave the diplomat with Cedar and then find a advantage point sneaking roll for sneaking, but advantage point where it more.
Okay, so you are trying to be stealthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a more covered area, which would give me a little bit more shade from the sunlight, which would that improve my shadow abilities then?
Oh, I see. You want to be more into the shadows, is what you're saying. Yeah, I would say that there's probably some shadows behind some trees if you really wanted to cast that now. But I would say your character would probably exercise caution on that, just in case. Mm-hmm. But that's up to you.
Would my illusions cast a shadow?
No. I'll say it's. You'll have to kind of make it convincing. So when you're rolling, it needs to be a 2d6 or higher because you're doing it for both you and the diplomat. So you also need to let me know how powerful this magic is going to be. How many dice you want to use?
Probably a 2d6.
Just a 2d6?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, let's hold off on that for now until just keep 2 saved. That way you know that you're using 2d6 specifically, and then once something happens, they'll have to roll magic resistance to basically see or try to see.
Okay.
And then Mason, you are trying to find an area to essentially hide in the shadows, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So for right now, hold off on any rolls. You, however, don't because you're getting to a more advantageous spot to essentially see, right?
Is there going to be enough foliage in this tree that it could obfuscate my figure a little bit?
You can try your best. I'll say that. But regardless, you are going to have to roll stealth. And I don't think you have any boon to stealth, do you?
Not in any non-combat context.
Okay. So go ahead and roll a 1d6. And wait, hold on. Hiding up in a tree. You're climbing the tree. I'll say, what are you wearing? What?
Just besides my armor?
Khakis.
Right. Armor. But I mean, do you, what colors are you wearing? Have you ever considered that?
I haven't yet. Do you want me to describe the whole fit?
No, you don't have to be, overly descriptive. You just let me know. Do you have anything that's green? Do you have anything that would,
In my head, I guess it was darker. It was mostly just shades, blacks and grays.
Okay. So you might somewhat blend in if people aren't looking right. So here's what I'll say. Because you're wearing heavy armor, you are going to have a bane to your stealth. So take 2d6, and you are going to need a 3 or higher. All right.
2.
That's a 2. Okay. So you fail. You just don't know it yet. This is going to be a role play only type of deal.
Jinkies.
Now, here's what all 3 of you, including the diplomat, now notice. Not only is it a large cart / not necessarily carriage, you notice there's bars on the carriage, and that it looks specifically made to house inmates and not guests. And you also notice that there is, of course, the person who is driving the carriage, who is, every once in a while kind of hiya to the horses that are driving the carriage. And there's also, of course, specifically 4 armored soldiers that are walking side by side with the carriage. This is what you see, and this is kind of sort of what you see. Currently, though, you and the diplomat have no idea. You just know that the sound is coming closer, and you now understand that it is a carriage and that there are, like, full-on armored soldiers. That being said, what do you guys do?
I'll stay hidden.
Okay.
I'm going to draw my bow at half-mast as the sound of the wagon and the...
Because you can specifically see them, just not by a whole lot.
Yeah.
And you said they're coming in our direction, right?
Yep. They are specifically... I'll say one of you can make me a perception check. You can choose who.
Okay.
You know, I can do that.
Okay. I'll need a 4 or higher.
5.
You notice that they aren't just coming towards you. They might be going towards the cave. But that's all you can gather.
Well, I do think our best course of action until they approach a little closer is to kind of just stay hidden. And, yeah.
Speaking of, can you guys update all of your health? All of your guys' health is back to 3 out of 3, by the way.
Cowabunga.
Also, who failed their rolls as of right now?
I failed my last one.
Okay, go ahead and add 1 karma point then. All right. So you failed your stealth check, but you succeeded at your perception. So you notice that these guys are more or less seemingly headed towards the cave. Mm-hmm. And then one of the people who are next to the... Because you got the guy who's essentially guiding the horses, essentially.
Right.
So the person next to him, which he's not just armored, like he's nicely armored. This doesn't seem like any everyday soldier. He seems like he might be in charge. So he is looking out, and then he kind of notices something up in the tree. You described to me how it is that they kind of come to knowledge of your existence in the tree.
So at first they're just looking at it, and nothing immediately registers, because at least in my head I was decently well hidden. One of them kind of does a double take and sees, oh, wait a minute, something's off there. And they slowly just start to make out the human figure after a couple double takes, at which point this is at their attention that there is a man, I'm assumingly visible to them, in decently heavy armor.
Okay. They, oddly, they don't pay attention. They see you, and you know that they see you, because they specifically eyed you, but they don't pay attention. They just keep on going their way.
Well, paying attention can get quite expensive if you do it a lot.
So they are coming up much, much, much closer. I'll say this is the time for rolls. So specifically, I am going to roll for magic resistance, and then you go ahead and roll for your magic ability. So you need a 6 or higher.
I'm so dead. 5 and a 2.
All right. Your kind of like canopy, like looking like a rock, just kind of like suddenly dissipates. And you said you were crouching, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the heavily armored and also very good-looking armored guy notices 2 men just sitting there crouching, as well as a seemingly magical effect just dissipate. And as the carriage comes closer, is there anything that you do?
I'm going to stay hidden. However, I have my bow still
Okay, so
half-mast.
Okay.
However, this time I have it drawn towards one of the guardsmen.
Okay. And then I don't think you have a boon to stealth, right? I don't believe you do. But I'm going to say, because you're like kind of in the shadows and you had time to kind of hide in there, I'm going to say that you do. So go ahead and roll me a 2d6. However,
I mean, we could probably have it go with a shadow touch since it.
Yeah, but this is more like a stealth roll.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll kind of like a perception. Hold on. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then one more. All right. I'm gonna average that out, and I'm gonna say it's a 4. So you need a 4 or higher. Okay, that works. You're hidden. You're fine. You realize you see that like none of them really see you or pay attention to you, so you think you're hidden. So the kind of nicely armored soldier comes up to you, Cedar.
Hello.
My good sir, what are you doing here?
I'm exploring.
You're exploring.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing with this person? He doesn't seem very well equipped to go out on adventures.
Well, you see, funny story. I found him on a boat, and it was sinking. So I took him on my boat, and when that storm hit last night, we washed up on the beach.
Okay.
If I may interject.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
You're up in the tree.
I'm going
Are you
somewhere with
climbing
this.
down?
No. Essentially, Lance, seeing Cedar trying to talk his way out of something, has
just
zero
started.
confidence. So I am going to attempt to port down where I was before I teleported.
Teleported?
Essentially, yeah.
What do you mean teleported?
Remember I ported up to the tree?
I thought you just climbed.
No, I was teleporting. We can retcon that if you weren't a fan of it.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, we'll just say that you teleported.
Okay, I was going to come back down and introduce myself to the scenario.
Wait, so what do you just teleport in front of him? In front of the soldiers?
Yeah. Because I need to get there fast, and I'm really worried he's going to talk himself into a hole and create a whole.
You know
slew
what?
of
No.
problems.
Roll me a 1d6,
Yeah, we can
and
do
you
that.
need a 4 or higher.
Have a great
You're
head.
trying to use magic in front of the people who don't like magic. Maybe that's not a good idea.
To be fair, you guys don't know this yet. I will say that.
It is like an in-character thing to do. There's a plan here. 3.
Okay. Not only do you teleport, but it was incredibly obvious that you just casted a teleportation on yourself. And not only that, you might have also jumbled it a bit, because you just fell flat on your face.
Ooh. Hi, Lance Voorhees, local handsome fellow.
Did my eyes just fail me, or did you just use magic?
Sorry, I fell.
You used magic.
Jeez,
Are you two together?
Nope.
The diplomat stays silent. Okay.
Cerberus.
Do you guys have any idea why we're here?
No.
No.
None at all.
Please enlighten us.
What's in the box?
Because you want to know, you're going to need to make a persuasion check just for him to say anything. So, you need to beat a 4 or higher.
5.
Okay, that works. Do you have anything on persuasion or just insight?
Just insight, no, not persuasion.
Okay. He looks back over to you, Lance, after he saw you fall flat on your face and teleport. Here's the deal. All right? Technically speaking, you guys aren't even supposed to see us right now. And, technically speaking, as you all know, magic is very looked down upon.
Well, see, I don't recall casting a spell. I might be a victim here. I believe this was done to me, not by me.
That is going to require another persuasion roll.
Yeah, I thought you might say that.
And you're going to need a 3 higher.
5?
Okay, it works. He's like, he eyes you up. Okay. I got my eyes on you guys. This is very, very fishy. Why are you guys here? I actually need to know. I don't think it's just for exploring. This is getting very fishy.
Well, truth be told, we are sort of in a horticulture. And I'm curious as to what plants may reside here.
Okay. We're here for the Cyclops in the cave. Okay? You guys don't need to know anything more than that.
What's
all
a Cyclops?
right? You guys were just near that cave, right?
I mean, we may have wandered
What
past
cave?
its vicinity.
There is a giant malicious being inside of that cave that will rip and tear you guys apart. So I need to know if you guys have seen him, have done anything to him, or have come past him.
You know, this really isn't ringing a bell. That would be news to me.
I'm going to need you guys... Actually, I'm going to need you both to roll me a persuasion. You guys, I'm going to need one of you to beat a 5. Okay? Okay. So you're the one who's persuading him. What do you say?
Yeah, no, I washed up on the beach with this guy from a boat. I don't know how he got here, but if he's into plants, I
What do
guess
you
he's
think I
all
was-
right by me.
What do you think I was doing in the tree, genius?
Fair point. Thought you might be bird watching, but to each their own.
He's going to make an insight check. And I believe...
I cannot talk my way out of a wet paper bag.
Okay. He doesn't see anything with you guys. For some reason, his insight failed him. Okay. I'm going to need you guys to just... Nothing happened, okay? Nothing here happened. What we're going to do with this carriage is none of your guys' business, okay? And we're going to go to the Cyclops cave. And when I get there, I really hope that nothing happened.
I hope the same. I hope nothing happens to you either. Safe travels, my friend.
Is this a wooden carriage?
It's wooden, but there's also a lot of like metal as well. It's very obvious that this was built to keep someone within.
Okay, so it wouldn't be like the spokes of the wheels aren't made of wood?
I'd say parts of it are and parts of it aren't. Yeah, it's like a very normal wagon wheel. You know, there's metal engraved with the wood itself.
Okay, so I was thinking, because I don't really like that guy's tone. Maybe I could make a root appear in the wagon wheel.
This
and
was
break
going
a
so
spoke.
well.
Well, it wouldn't be our fault, because it would be further down their way. And
So are you trying to do something as they're going past you, is what you're saying?
yeah.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do.
Well, I was thinking about it. I was just asking about the wagon wheel.
Right. So here's what we're going to do. Is the wagon, or the carriage anyway, is now going to go past you guys. You guys are stepping to the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you guys are stepping to the side. Carriage is going past. And then you specifically want to cast something to like cause like a knot or a bump in the wheel. Is that what you're saying?
I was thinking that to hopefully maybe break a spoke. Cause
Okay.
Really...
So the next question is, are you doing this like silently, like stealthily, so that way they don't know that you're casting magic?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's supposed to be like they hit a bump in the road, their wheel breaks, and then they're like, oh shit.
So before we do anything, I'm going to need you to roll me a stealth. Before you do that, though, I'm going to gather the average out of everybody. I'm going to say the person who's driving the carriage isn't going to notice anything. He doesn't really care, actually. Okay, so let's say average that out to, I'll say 4. So you need a stealth roll of 4. So roll me a 1d6. You need a 4 higher. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. Is you're still casting, but you think you're being stealthy, and you just don't realize that anybody noticed. Okay? So now the next part is how powerful is this spell going to be?
Not very.
Okay?
It'd be like a 1d6.
1d6? Okay. I'm going to need 3 or higher. Oh, by the way, add a karma point, by the way. I really need to get into the flow of that.
6.
Okay. So, the knot appears, the carriage goes bump, and essentially a very large... Were you trying to stop it, or...
Mess with the wheel.
Just mess with it? Okay. So it just kind of like lops over a very large lump. Is it staying there? Are you concentrating on it?
Yeah, so it seems like it was always there.
Okay. So you guys notice, all three of you, that as the carriage is kind of going past you guys, it just kind of... And it's just like suddenly out of nowhere, just like the wheel is now suddenly being very, very bumpy.
Wow, that's really misfortunate for them.
You guys might want to rotate your tire.
However, you also notice a soldier eyeing you up. And as they're about to like fully leave, suddenly the soldier holds out his hand and stop. And but as he's doing that, as the carriage stops and as all the soldiers stop, the armored one who hopped back onto the carriage looks over at the cave and realizes that there is a lot of rubble at that cave. And so he climbs down, he walks over to the soldier, and the soldier's like, I saw him casting magic. And then a very very nicely armored man walks back over to you. Okay, what's the meaning of this? Not only did my fellow soldier see you casting magic, but the cave is collapsed. Why is the cave collapsed?
I suppose this is rather troublesome. Okay, please continue.
He just looks at you, and he looks back over to Cedar.
Okay, so the cave, I actually don't know what happened there. But I was casting magic because I'm an elf. And, well...
What? No, keep going.
And I was trying to gauge you guys.
You were trying to gauge us.
Yep.
Please enlighten me as to what you were gauging.
I'm on the lookout for more magical people.
If I had a torch, I could enlighten you.
Pay no attention to him.
Okay. This is getting very, very complicated. I need one of you to tell me what happened to the cave right now.
Truthfully, I have no idea.
Okay, I'm now going to need the both of you to roll me a persuasion roll. And you're going to need to roll against a 3 or higher.
I can do this. 4.
4.
Okay. So you guys legitimately do not know what happened to this cave.
No, sir.
Is it so strange that a cave would have rubble in front of it? Caves do collapse.
There
all
was
the time.
that crazy storm last night.
No, that is not strange. What is strange is the person casting magic. I need to know why you were casting magic and why the wagon suddenly is now bumping.
Perhaps it was poorly constructed. Who is your contractor?
I don't want to hear it from you. I'm asking you the question.
I don't know why your wagon's bumping, because the spell that I cast was simply to cool myself down. It's very hot out.
You were cooling yourself down.
Yeah, with a gust of wind.
You know you're not supposed to cast magic, right?
Yeah, I apologize, but I'm an elf.
You apologize.
Yep, I'm an elf, and I thought that warranted me certain privileges.
What kingdom are you from?
Not really from a kingdom.
You're not from a kingdom. You are a renegade elf.
Renegade, more like sovereign citizen.
A renegade elf without a kingdom that just casted magic casually. You realize what this means, right?
No.
How was he to know the laws of this kingdom?
That's a good
He is
point.
a renegade. Every kingdom is literally against this.
He might not have known that.
To be fair, I do live in a forest, which is kind of like living under a tree. Word doesn't really get around.
So this isn't exactly going to work like you think it will. I'm going to need you to roll me a persuasion roll again. You need a 4 or higher.
Oh, I'm so dead.
That is a crit fail. And you don't gain karma on that one. So, he looks at you. Yeah, that's not an excuse. None of this is an excuse. And we're going to have to figure out how we're going to deal with this.
Maybe we could just take this as a teachable moment rather than something super consequential.
It's going to have to be super consequential.
Nothing has to be any certain way.
Are you guys in need of a conjuring elf in your kingdom? Maybe I could apply for citizenship.
It's a lot more complex than that. You don't just meet someone out in the wild and then have them ask for citizenship and a conjurer license, and then suddenly it just happens. This takes time, including following the rules, which you have specifically not followed.
Did not know about the rules.
I am not going to see that as an excuse.
It was his first offense. Perhaps there's an amicable solution.
How would I know it's his first offense? This is my first time seeing him in this specific kingdom. I don't even know if he's from this forest.
I'm not. I washed up here on a boat after the storm. I told you.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so what forest are you from? You can make up a name.
I'm from the moth forest.
Okay. Do you know what kingdom that's in?
We don't really align with a kingdom.
It doesn't matter.
We're neutral.
There's no neutral ground here. That forest is owned by the kingdom of Jack.
Oh, come on. Our
Owned
borders
is
just
kind
lines
of
in the sand.
You're pushing it. I hope you know that.
I'm not pushing anything.
What's your name?
Lance Voorhees.
Okay, what's your rank?
I wouldn't like to think I'm particularly rank. I try to stay somewhat hygienic.
What is your rank?
Sergeant, first class.
Give me a persuasion roll. And no roll on that one. You're going to need a 5 or higher.
We got it. 6.
Jesus Christ.
Oh. Wait, aren't you working for the king? Can't you say you'll take me in?
You're telling me that you're a sergeant and that you're out here looking at plants.
You know, I'm allowed to have hobbies. I get time off. Have you worked every day of your life away? In which case, I feel very sorry for you.
Wage slave.
Is there any more of you? What are you here for? Do you have anyone else with you?
We've been over this, and him and I have been friends for a good 10 minutes, but that's about it. Not aware of any other
He's going to make another insight check.
Maybe
because
don't
of it.
say we're friends and say
For 10 minutes.
while they're working for getting the Cyclops,
Okay.
you'll take me to the king.
What do I need?
So what are you saying specifically?
What was the last thing he asked me?
What we're doing here, and if there's any more of us.
I mean, I've explained to you what I'm here for. It's strange, I get it.
You're lucky you failed his insight check. I hope you know that. You see all of this happening. Like, Mason, Cerberus, do you do anything? Do you just keep watching?
Is Jack spelled J-A-X or J-A-C-K?
Oh, yeah. Jack, yeah.
I am bewildered at how effective Lance's situation has benefited him, while amazed at just how the situation has gone far out of hand.
Do you see why I wanted to do the talking?
We could have had.
Yeah, this is my fault.
We could have just had the party of individuals pass us by, but now it has gotten into deeper trouble because those two have.
So, what do you do anything specifically?
I remain in the shadows of the forest, watching.
So, I'm going to need you to roll me another 2d6, and you'll need to go against. That's like an average of 5. You're going to need a 5 or higher. Okay, that works. You're still hidden. You're still fine. Okay. So, the fairly nicely armored individual is going to look at the both of you, and he sighs. Okay. So, I'm come here for the Cyclops, okay? I need to know if the Cyclops is still alive.
Well, if I had seen a Cyclops before, perhaps I could tell you that. I haven't. I can't.
I just told you, he's a gigantic being, Okay, he has one singular eye in the middle of his head.
Yeah, see, I think I'd know if I had seen that.
You're gonna need to roll me another persuasion. You have to beat a 1 or higher.
We got it.
Commander's not bright, apparently.
For someone who doesn't have charisma, he's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm a smooth talker.
Okay. Regardless, I'm gonna need you guys.
Well, you seem quite guardful, but please continue.
I'm gonna need you guys to help me clear out this rubble. Because we need to make sure that the Cyclops is still alive. Because I need him.
That sounds very tiresome and time-consuming.
Correct, but you're still going to help.
On whose authority?
Mine. I still outrank you, Sergeant.
Look, I've got a lot of horticulture to get around to.
No, you're helping me.
And if I don't?
And if I don't, my friends here are going to make sure you do.
You guys are mean.
This isn't about being mean. This is about some random sergeant going around looking at different plants and then telling me that he didn't know anything about the cave that he just passed.
Well, I didn't go in it. I passed it. Why
To
would
be
I know
fair,
anything
how would
about
we
it?
know it's a cave if it's caved in?
Excellent point.
It's only a good point because as of to my knowledge, apparently it had rubble there before you guys came. I have no idea if it had rubble after you guys came. That is the problem. Now, you guys need to help.
Will that exonerate me?
I'll think about what that does with you. That being said, no more magic.
Not even to help clear the rubble?
No, you are going to use your hands.
You are aware we could all let him do that and pretend we didn't see anything, right?
We'll see. We'll see how this goes, and we'll see how much on my good side you guys get on. Currently, you specifically aren't doing so well.
I don't know why. I'm pretty funny.
I don't think so.
You seem like you think a lot.
All right, let's clear some rubble.
Yahoo!
Okay, so I'm going to assume that you all are going to the cave, right, to clear out the rubble. So,
Cerberus is still hidden, though, isn't he?
yes.
Yeah. I'm still watching from a distance at the...
Shenanigans.
So, with that, if you guys are actually clearing rubble, I am now going to start requiring rolls. Because you are strength, you can roll 2d6, but hold on. Because you have a Bane, you also roll 2d6, but you take the lower over the higher. So, I'm going to need... I'd say they're fairly heavy stones, obviously, because the Cyclops had issues. So I'm going to need a 4 or higher out of the both of you.
5.
Okay, makes sense.
4.
Okay, that works. You guys are clearing out the rubble. I'm going to need it again. This is going to be kind of like a mini game. So again, 4 or higher.
Can I look for an opportunity to slink into the trees?
He has all the soldiers have their eyes on you. Hell, there's soldiers that are currently helping with the rubble. That's going to be kind of hard.
Fair enough. Mini game.
Go ahead. 4 or higher.
4.
Okay, that works. Okay.
Pretty weak
So,
over there, Lance.
You described to me what happens to the piece of rubble that you were trying to move.
So I grab it, I try to pick it up, sort of a deadlift position. I almost get it up over my center of gravity, and then kind of lose it a little bit, tip to the side, and drop it carefully out of anyone's way so no one gets crushed by it.
Okay, but how do you fail?
Well, again, I've got it, I start tipping back, and then I don't got it, slips out of my grasp to my right, and it falls pathetically onto the ground.
Okay, I'll count it. Only because it's not a crit 1.
Would that also be a karma check as well?
Yes, go ahead and add another to your karma. Alright, So we're going to do one more. So 4 or higher, the both of you. This is the last one.
5.
Okay.
6.
Okay. That is a crit. So you have essentially made up for the failure that you did before.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have officially cleared out the rubble. Here's what you guys notice. For one, Cedar, your pack is just sitting there. It's not even crushed. It's just fine. However, obviously, everyone's around you. The soldiers are there, and they're still clearing out some minor pieces of rubble to really help with the entrance. Here's what you notice. The Cyclops' feet, specifically, which you remembered, are just there. They're like it looks like he's laying down.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all you gather.
Okay.
Is there anything you guys do before we head further with this?
Well, is all you needed from us?
No. You guys stay right here, and we still haven't gotten to the big portion of this yet.
I'm getting paid for this, right?
He looks back at the cave. He just looks at you and he looks back at the cave.
Slave labor.
Lance, when they go in the cave it in.
With
My
us in
question
it?
is,
How do you expect
what
that to go?
about further updates of the diplomat? Since we've only been hearing about how they have helped.
The diplomat was helping with clearing the rubble. I'm going to say that. He just wanted to go with it. He doesn't really have any strength to go against anybody, so he's just going to go with what everybody else is doing.
Sure.
So the nicely armored fellow is going to go up to the cave, and he's going to look, and he's going to make a perception check. He's going to need a 3 or higher. He has a 5. He notices the feet as well. And it's... Wait a sec. Hey! No answer. Hello? Uh-oh. He then, he doesn't necessarily dash, but he kind of, fast walks over to the Cyclops. He kind of, pushes you guys off to the side.
Rude.
And he goes in, he looks, and he's like... there's a couple seconds in between of him kind of checking the body. The soldiers are kind of gathered around you guys specifically. They're specifically around the cave, as well as some of them in the cave with you. And then the nicely armored guy comes back up. He walks over to you guys, and he's like, okay, so the Cyclops is dead. Appearing as if he might have stabbed himself.
Do they tend to do that a lot?
No. No. So here's how this is going to go. He was supposed to be the one to essentially deal with our current inmates. He was supposed to have a good, solid meal. However, because he can't have that, and because he can't have the current criminals in my carriage, you guys are going to have to deal with them. Once you guys deal with these criminals, not only will I look past the magic, but I will also look past the sergeant a bit. I will also look past any time you guys come up at all.
So, define deal with.
You guys need to kill these criminals. Or, if you don't want to kill them, they at least need to be out of the kingdom. So either A, they can not be on this island anymore, or B, killed.
And that's it? You just want me to kill them?
Correct.
Well, how many you got back there?
2.
Alright, works for me.
What do
Send
these
them out.
prisoners look like?
Why does that matter?
Well, I want to know if they're adults Teenagers? Kids?
Yeah, yes, they're adults. No, we're not going to send children off to get eaten by a cyclops, god damn it.
Try to clarify.
Well, bring him over. What's the holdup?
Okay. I just wanted confirmation that you're able to do that.
Oh, willing and able, yeah.
Okay. So he walks up to the carriage, and all the soldiers kind of gather around him. Just before he is about to open the carriage, Cerberus, you notice more sticks around you, kind of like someone's like stepping, and they seem to be coming up towards you. I'm going to need you to roll me another stealth check. However, this time it can only be a 1d6, and you're going to need a 4 or higher. Okay. You are not noticed. However, here's what you notice. Currently, there's a couple of individuals coming out of the forest and specifically heading towards the current caravan.
Okay, so they pretty much... I notice them, but they don't notice me as they pass me by.
Yes, correct.
Okay. I shift my focus towards the new group that is heading towards Lance and Cedar. However, I still don't make any significant movement as I stay.
So you don't do anything?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Just as the nicely armored man is about to open the carriage, suddenly an arrow flies right into the door, just before the door was opened. And suddenly, more arrows fly. And you are now under attack.
Oh my.
Not necessarily you guys specifically. You notice that these arrows are kind of more towards both the carriage and the soldiers.
So the carriage wasn't open, the prisoners are still stuck in it.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to now say the commander. The commander pipes up. Oh, shit. All right, gentlemen, we're under attack. I'm going to need your guys' help with this one. If you guys still want to get out of this alive, these inmates still need to be dealt with.
It doesn't sound like I have much of a choice, so sure.
Okay. Do I have your word on it, too?
Sure.
Sure?
Yeah.
He shakes his head. Fucking sure. All right. He unsheathes his sword, and he's like, Commander Braun is my name. I'm going to need your name.
Aspen Birch.
All right, roll me a persuasion. That's going to be against... It's going to be against a 2. He doesn't really care that much.
And it's a 1.
That is a crit fail.
His relation with the commander has deteriorated further.
The commander just stares at you, at your blatant lie, and he's like, we'll fucking deal with this later. And, then he's about to basically attack these individuals who are now coming up to the carriage. What do you guys do?
I'm going to draw my crossbow and... How many are there?
Currently, you only see 2 individuals, interestingly enough.
Are they equidistant from me?
They're fairly distant.
Are they equally distant from me?
What do you mean?
Like, is one closer, farther, to the left, to the right? Like, how are they positioned exactly?
Well, hold on. Okay, so let's draw this out. So let's say this right here is the carriage, right? Okay, you got the horses here. You have one soldier here, one soldier here, one soldier here, one soldier here. Here's the commander. Okay. He was about to open that up. And then over here, I'd say just a fair distance, you have these two individuals who are coming up. And you guys would be like around here, right?
I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he was just passing you to unleash the two. So I'll say you are right next to him. You are kind of like currently off the map.
We'll just say this is me.
Okay. So, what do we do?
Well, I'm kind of at a loss right now. I can't use magic.
Commander, would you let it slide if it means we might live?
No. Magic uses the literal life force. No.
Well, I don't want to lose my life.
I don't care. Imagine that. Now help me attack them.
Alright, so I draw my heavy crossbow and I'm going to take a shot straight at the head of the one on the left.
Okay. So, hold on just a sec. So they both have 3. All right, I got all the specs down. So, and then you're attempting to shoot, right? You have I don't remember. Did you have a 2d6 to?
For a heavy crossbow, yes.
Okay. So go ahead, roll me a 2d6. You are going to need a 5 or higher.
5.
Okay. So you hit one of them. Which one were we hitting again?
The one on the left.
Okay. So one of them, you notice definitely took some damage. He has a fun little, bolt.
Oh, and my
stuck in him.
brutal strikes, I can crit in a 5.
I believe that's only with melee weapons, because you're
It
specifically
does say
melee
it's
weapon.
sacrificing offhand for a 2-handed weapon.
Yeah. So that's specifically a 2-handed feature
Okay.
for melee weapons. Okay. So, and then what do you guys do?
I guess I'll move closer. Try to go hit that one over there. That's only got 2.
I'll say
Stretch
because of the distance, you won't be able to make it in time to hit. Did you want to still get closer?
I'll get closer. Yeah.
Okay. So how close are we thinking?
Probably to the corner of the wagon so I can have at least a little bit of cover.
Okay. So let's erase that a bit. And then we'll say you're right here. Okay. And then we'll say that's your turn. You're basically just dashing up in front. Okay. Mason, Cerberus, what you doing?
I am going to shoot an arrow towards the one on the left side.
The one who just got a bolt in him?
Yep.
Okay. So because you're hidden and because all of your stealth rolls were like oddly all successful, you get a 2d6 because of your ganking ability. So go ahead and roll. You need a 5 or higher. Okay, a 6. So you just crit. So go ahead and roll me another dice. A 1d6. No, just a 1d6. Well, let's say that's just a 2. So you successfully did 1 strike of damage. So let's go ahead and say he is now very low on health. And
Or could I just ignore that last roll and do the automatic strike?
What was that again?
It was
If rolled a crit, can choose not to roll and automatically deal an additional strike. Oh, I see. You just wrote notes.
Yeah.
I'll say it because you let me know before you roll again.
yeah. Gotcha.
Right. So we'll keep it at that for now. Okay. So that's all of their turn. Commander Braun is now going to move up. He is going to move. He's pretty fast, so he's going to move up to this one, and then he is going to attempt to strike. He needs 3 or higher. Okay, that works. So I'll say they just automatically deal another strike of damage. Okay. And then I'm going to say the other soldiers are just going to take their... they're going to take a while. One of them is going to be behind, and you'll notice that they're kind of guarding the carriage. And the other 2 are essentially just going to come up. Or other 3, I meant. Okay. Now they're going to attack. He's going to attack Commander Braun. That is a crit. Oh, yeah, that's right. I should have gave him another boon. Oh, well. He still crit. So he just dealt 1 strike of damage to Commander Braun. I'm not really sure. I'll just say he's right here. And then the other one's going to attack. He'll attack Commander Braun as well, actually. He'll have 3. That's another crit. Okay. Another strike of damage. Okay. What do you guys do?
Since majority of the party has now shown up, or close a distance between the ambush people who start the ambush, I am going to try and roll for another stealth check so and I can escape from the situation. So I am still hidden from the commander's party.
Are you not doing anything, or are you just stealthing?
Yeah, because I still cautious of the commander and the fact that there's only 2 currently, officially 2 enemies.
Okay. So because this is currently like a battle currently, I'll need only a 1d6 this time, but the DC will be lower. You only need a 3 or higher. 1d6, yeah. There you go. Okay.
Right.
You're hidden. You're fine. Alright, and what do you guys do?
I'll go up and I'll hit the one that's got 1 strike left.
Okay. So you reach him, and you attempt to strike at him. You roll me a 1d6, and you need a 5 or higher.
4.
Did you want to add any karma to that, or...
Yeah, I will add a karma to it so I can hit him.
Okay. So go ahead and raise 1 point of karma, and then you deal strike to him. He is dead.
That'll help exonerate me.
Mm-hmm.
Killing blow.
We shall see.
Okay, and then, Jared?
You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm just gonna shoot again.
Okay. 2d6, you need a 5 or higher.
6.
Go ahead and roll again.
2.
Okay. Only 1 strike of damage. He now has 1 health left.
Where is the diplomat during this entire situation?
Like somewhere around the cave.
Ah.
Yeah, so I guess Commander Brown's just gonna go ahead at it. Yeah, definitely misses. The soldiers are gonna attack now. I believe, 3+. Okay. Okay, that's a crit. Only 1. Alright, he's dead. Now that the attackers are dead, I believe that left Braun with 3 health, I believe. So I'll have to remember that. Okay. After that has been dealt with, what do you guys do?
I'm gonna turn to Commander Braun and go, "Gosh, Braun, I figured someone with that name would have a little more muscle mass."
Wait, hold on. How did you know his name?
Did he?
He told us.
Yeah.
No. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm being stupid. Go ahead.
Yeah, pretty much that. Jeez, I thought someone with a name like Braun would have a little more strength and muscle mass. Kind of carried you there, didn't we?
I don't understand what you're trying to do.
Get
here.
the pun, Braun?
No,
Braun?
no. Don't explain
I'm just
the
talking
stupid pun to me. What are you doing? Why? What is? Does the kingdom really allow for like such a stupid joke act that you got going on here?
It's going to depend on how the commander responds.
You're heavily testing my patience. Anyway, you guys are now going to kill these criminals. And we are going to figure out why we were just attacked by... He looks over at the bodies. Interesting. Okay. Anyway.
Actually, can I go check the bodies and roll a perception check to see what
are you going
to
walk past him and do that?
Is he going to stop me?
He specifically ordered you to deal with the criminals that they're about to live.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Priorities.
Okay.
All right. Well, if no one has any objections, I'm going to execute these 2 losers.
Okay. So the other 2 losers are now going to be let out of the cage, and they're going to be chained up with the other soldiers. And Commander Braun looks at you guys like, okay, I will now completely dismiss all of that would have happened here. If I see your guys' faces again, I hope it's for a good reason. Because this has not been for a good reason. At all. It has not been fun dealing with you people.
You know, you didn't have to deal with us.
Yes, I kind of did.
Won't the commander be like, I hope I don't see you? And then specifically points at Lance again.
He doesn't care that much. He's a commander. He does his job. He has to deal with people he doesn't like every day.
Anyhow, yeah, may our paths never cross again. You're a very stuck-up man. You take work too seriously. Gotta learn how to have fun with
You're
it.
gonna get us killed.
He's going to do another insight after you just said that.
But that was out of character.
It was?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Sounds like something Cedar would say.
Okay. If it was out of character, then I'll let it slide.
It was.
It's funnier if we say it was in character. But okay.
Okay. So, the 2 inmates are let out, and then the other soldiers are basically going to crowd around the carriage. Braun is about to get back onto his carriage. About to. However, the diplomat comes up, and he's like, Commander Braun, right? Yes. What is it? Well, we actually need help. You're commander of the of the Kingdom Leonis, right? Correct. Well, we're actually sent by King Jack. We need to know about the kingdom. We need to talk directly with Kingdom Manuel or King Manuel. Okay. And how is this my problem? Well, I thought you just, attachments, be able to get us hooked up. I legitimately do not give 2 shits. Okay. All right. That's understandable. We'll just... No. You want to talk to the king, you have to do it in the way of the other ticket seekers, okay? The other ticket seekers have to work their ass off in order to go into the other castle, okay? So if you want to get into the castle, you have to do it like everybody else. I don't want to hear any buts about it. I don't know why you're out here. I don't know how you got here. I don't even know who your bodyguards are supposed to be, because apparently it's not these 2. So you're just going to have to do it yourself. And then you notice that the diplomat kind of walks off, kind of disappointed. Braun gets back on his carriage, and the carriage is about to leave as the 2 criminals are kind of next to you guys, kind of chained up. So what do you guys do?
Are they gonna watch us? Like them?
I mean, they're currently blindfolded, so...
Oh, I meant the guards. Like the...
Oh, the guards. Yeah, there is Commander Braun, at least. He takes some looks back to see what you do.
Because we could either, he said, kill them or, like, get them off the island. And there is a boat that we have down there.
Counter argument, it would be a heck of a lot easier to just lop their heads off.
But what did they do to deserve that?
What do I care?
These guys seem like a bunch of assholes. Like, we're really going to do their dirty work just cuz?
Yeah, it'd be pretty easy.
But we could just send them away.
Dude, that's so much work.
How?
Why? Just why? I can just
Cerberus?
I can just do it.
I'm still in the shadows.
I was going to say, unless he says he's come back up, he's still hiding.
Fair enough.
All right. Well,
I don't agree with you. I think we should put them on the boat, and I think we should ship them out.
Yeah, but what if they, don't die and they make their way back?
Hey, what are you guys locked up for?
Please don't hurt us. It was just petty thievery. I didn't want to die.
It's honestly not my call to make.
Would this be a persuasion check for the criminals towards Lance and...
I'm not gonna make the criminals try and persuade the players. No, that's not how I do things.
So, are we in agreement, Cedar?
No. I think we should ship them out. Petty thievery is not a
So you
capital
notice
offense.
You notice as these two criminals are obviously like handcuffed and blindfolded, sitting there as these two are currently arguing. Do you do anything, or do you stay in the shadows?
I'm going to...
The carriage is away, so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, so it's just us?
They're currently, like, as they're leaving view, like, you have more of an opportunity to do what you want.
Okay. Then I am to... As their silhouette is disappearing off in the distance, the prison wagon, leaving us with the two bound prisoners, I am going to take it out of both of my party's control and shoot the prisoners from my hidden spot. That way I can use gank.
So here's my question. Do you think you would have listened in on the conversation? Do you think you would have known what's going on? If you do, then we can roll a perception roll to see how much of it.
Let's go with a perception roll, just so it gives more.
So I'm gonna say roll a 1d6, and you need a 3 or higher. Okay. So you do know what's going on then. So what do you choose to shoot the prisoner, right?
I choose to shoot them to get them over with because dealing with the prisoners was not originally part of the mission. It has now become, we have now digressed from the original objective. So, go ahead and roll me a 2d6. You need a 2 or higher. Okay, that works. You guys notice as one of the shots just comes barreling through and cleanly, like, right into the neck, actually. I'm going to say that.
Well, there you go, Cedar. Now it doesn't matter, does it?
Or would it be better for it to be shot in the chest instead? Because it's the neck with the house.
Is that where you're aiming? The head?
Yeah.
Just describe to me where the shot goes.
I'm going to have the shot aimed towards their head. That way, it's a nice clean kill instead of the neck or lower, because then they would still.
So you're aiming for the head. Yeah. Okay. Now I believe.
And then since it would have been a gank, because I'm from the shadows, which then
I'll say no. I'll just say that you they're fairly weak, so they aren't killed outright. At least one of them isn't killed outright. So he's currently in pain.
Okay.
Do you keep shooting to shoot the other one, or shoot the current one that you?
The one that I did shoot, is that one in pain or is that one dead?
No, he's just in pain.
Okay. Then I am going to roll to shoot him again to put him out of his suffering.
Okay.
While my party members either
2d6, and you need a 2 or higher. Okay. What do you do with that? Did you want to roll again, or do you want an automatic crit?
We're just going to do the automatic crit at this situation.
Okay. So you said you were hitting for the one in pain, or the one that wasn't in pain?
The one in pain, just to.
Okay, so he's dead. So you guys notice one shot, couple seconds, and then another shot. The other dude's dead. He's crying out in pain. He's like ah, and then dead. You guys do anything?
I'm just gonna turn around and sigh.
Well, there you go. It sorted itself out anyway.
Did you want to shoot the next one?
You shut your mouth.
Yeah,
do as
might as well.
Okay. 2d6. You need a 3 or higher.
4.
Okay. He's in pain. He's no, wait, please. He's begging for his life.
It'll all be over soon.
All right, character or
Yeah, in character.
All right, and then you gonna do something, or am I just gonna shoot from the shadows?
I mean,
He's begging for his life. He's like basically kind of like crawling on you, essentially.
get off of me. What do you want me to do about it?
Please.
I'm not a medic.
I don't deserve to die.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of us don't deserve what happens to us, but that's how life works.
I didn't think this would get me here.
Well, that's your problem. You probably didn't think.
All right, then I'm gonna roll again for one last shot on that prisoner.
Okay. Okay. Did you want an automatic crit?
Yep.
Okay. He's dead.
And after killing the 2 prisoners, I move out of the shadows and make my way towards my party.
Another 2 notches on the bow.
Thank you, Cedar. Thank you for being sensible here. Sorry, Cerberus.
All right, guys. So the 2 prisoners are dead. The carriage is a decent, fair distance away. What do you guys do?
Who else is present from the group of guards? Is it just Braun? The rest of them?
They're
No,
gone.
everybody's
They're all
gone.
gone.
It's
back to
just
us.
it's just a diplomat and you guys.
So they left the carriage? That's it, though?
What?
They left the carriage?
No,
No, they're
left.
with the carriage.
Dang it.
Yeah, they kept the carriage. Yeah.
They're back over the hills.
Yeah.
And then, are we gonna keep the bag in the cave now?
Oh no, I'm grabbing my backpack. Good point. Thank you.
Oh, wow, yeah, I forgot you could do that. Good thinking.
Yeah, so did I. Thank you, Cerberus.
Okay. The diplomat comes up to you guys. And he's like, "All right, well, we still got a mission.
Yes, I suppose we do have travels to embark on.
All right. Well, if nobody has any objections, I'm ready to leave when you guys are.
Only one way to go.
All right. So here's how this is going to go. You guys are now going to be traveling. So I'm going to need each of you to now roll me a d6. Okay. All right. Wait. Keep that at 1. Yep.
I got a 1, 2.
All right. So something happens. And then I'm going to roll another d6. And then this will basically determine what happens. Okay. So you guys notice, I'd say, where from? I'll say like coming up from the other side. So almost like coming up from like where the ocean was that you guys came from. But kind of from some of the more hills that kind of helped hide them. You now notice them come into view. And it is... okay. 4 undead soldiers. And they specifically look undead, too.
Oh, jeez.
They are like rotting corpses. And they look like they're shambling up towards you guys. What do you do?
Hey, guys, you're seeing what I'm seeing, right?
Yes.
We need to do something about that, right?
Probably.
Anna, can we outrun them? Is this an option?
Are the undead in this world, like, attracted to flesh? Or are they just...
You're going to have to know. You don't have enough information.
Are you guys seeing the walkie?
That being said, you are a conjurer and you have worked with a conjurer. So if anyone wants to roll for anything to understand more
I
about...
would love to roll.
Okay. Now, I don't think you have... What do you have a boon in? I don't think you have a boon... Do you have a boon in, like...
Lore tasks.
Lore test, that's right. Okay. So, go ahead and roll me 2d6. You need... It's not very common, and it's usually looked down upon even by other conjurers. So it's going to be a bit harder for information. I'd say... I'll just say a 4 higher.
4 together.
Unfortunately, you can't really pick up anything. Oh, go ahead and put down a karma, by the way. You can't really pick up anything. You don't really remember a whole lot from your studies. And maybe you just avoided those studies, because normally undead isn't really something you ever run into. This isn't common. Conjurers hate this stuff, usually. So, yeah. You guys can do whatever you want to do. It really does not matter, and I can play around it. So what do you guys decide to do?
Well, there are 4 of them, and I don't think doing this fight if we don't have anything to gain from it is in our best interest. So I think we're just going to try to outpace them and get away.
So that's the plan?
Work for you?
Works for me.
Might as well.
Okay. All right. So here's how this is going to go. So we got 4 soldiers. We got 4 dice. Okay? Now, boon to strength. Actually, the only boon is strength. So you get to roll me a 2d6. So hold that for now. You just roll a regular d6 because you don't have a boon to strength.
But I also have a boon for it to escape. So then we're
correct. But I'm gonna rule this is more of not necessarily running, but at least getting away.
Gotcha.
Rather, that's more about like escaping bonds and stuff like that. And then because you're an elf, I'm gonna need you to roll me a 2d6, but pick the lowest. So here's how this is gonna go. I'm gonna roll 4. And then we pick the average out of those 4, and that'll be your DC for you guys to beat. So, what is that?
3?
3?
Yeah, that round up to a 3 for averaging. Yeah.
Okay.
2 point something.
Okay. So, they're a bit slower. So, I'm going to need you guys all to roll a 3 or higher. That's amazing.
5.
Okay.
Oh, it's supposed to be 2. Or...
No,
I want to do 1, right?
What?
Yeah, you were supposed to do 1.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, you got the same number, right? 2 and 2. So, that's fine. Okay. So, I'll say that you guys are kind of like lagging behind, essentially. So, we'll do one more roll. And then we'll kind of determine it that way. And then we'll kind of end the session there. What is that an average
3.
of? 3? Is that...
Like exactly 3.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So 3 or higher for all of you. So 1d6. Okay.
1.
Okay. So
How much of his karma could he actually use for this situation?
Oh, yeah. Could we?
did you want to?
I
Yeah,
would.
you know, it seems like a good use of that.
How many?
How many did I need again? 3.
3, so 2.
So yeah, I'll use 2 points then.
So go ahead and erase 2 points off of that.
3.
No, 3.
Okay, so I'll also add 1.
No, you
had a
got
4.
Yeah, but I have
fine.
to take the lowest because I'm an elf, right?
Yep, you got it. Yep, go ahead. No, I got you. I blinked on that one. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna say that you guys go ahead. You just outpace them. Like at first, you guys were kind of lagging behind, and if any of you like actually failed those rolls, it would have been you would have had to fight at least maybe a couple of them. But you guys are good. So
4-2 it is.
So I'm gonna say that you guys have at least reached the outer parts of the city for the next session. Mm-hmm. And then we will pick it up at the next session. So thank you all for listening in. This has been the Ovan-Tria podcast. And now that they have learned their consequences, have actions, they will now relay that onto the next session. With that being said, we now have the Patreon up and running. We have our podcast now on, 3 different sites, right?
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and
Did it work through Apple Podcasts, or are we still working on
the
it?
second one is I honestly don't know why it won't upload it there. So for now, Spotify
And YouTube. Okay. And then for Patreon as well, certain tiers will mean whether or not you can watch them unedited or edited or however you do. And I'd say, I think that's about it. As I said, thank you all for listening. We have, I at least have a lot planned. Everything that they choose to do essentially affects how this entire session goes. If they had decided to just leap into the forest, I had that planned as well. So just remember, folks, that this is all entirely improvised. I have a decent portion of it planned out, but they're the ones who choose to do whatever they want to do. With all that said, all of you go ahead and say your goodbyes.
I love each and every one of you.
Goodbye. Make
Adios.
like a tree and leaf.
All right.
All right, we're done here.
To all of you, good night.